It's very difficult to make real friends here because your stock is dependent on Friday.
Manager says or a PR person says, you're trending. I think that's a space where an actor has to step back and say, listen, this is not the poison I want to get into. I think it's a very, very dangerous space.
I think the dieting went overdrive in lockdown. Yeah.
But there's also weak minds, no? If you're weak, you'll put up.
Yeah. There's no scope for kissing anyways right now with COVID, so. Hi, this is Imran Hashmi and you're watching me on E-Times Online.
Hey, this is John Abraham and you're watching me on E-Times Online.
Hi, this is Savina Sheikh on E-Times Online, and with me I have John Abraham and Imran Hashmi. Welcome on E-Times Online.
Thank you.
So, how it has been like shooting for this movie? Tell us your experience about working on this movie.
I would say bad things, but no, all good stuff, yeah. I was a new entrant actually into the group. Sanjay has worked with John and a lot of the other actors. So it was great. I mean, it was just a breeze. We shot for it pretty much straight. We had a little bit of shooting post the lockdown, so that, everyone had those few hiccups once COVID happened. But it's just one of those shoots that, we knew we were working on something special. I generally gravitate towards films like this. I really like watching gangster films per se. And for the first time, I'm playing a cop. So that was fun. So yeah, it was an easy breezy shoot.
What about you, John?
It was a great time because I worked with Sanjay before on two films. I think the uniqueness about this film is that it had Imran in it, and it made the conflict really, really strong because when you have two heroes clashing against each other, it makes all the difference. So all credit to Gupta for getting a good team together around us, and in fact everybody who's worked around us also with like Shad. Especially Shad.
Shad, yeah. Special mention.
Special mention for Shad.
Yeah.
Shad Randhawa is absolutely
Shad, hope you listen to the Shad.
You've lost a lot of weight also for the role, it seems.
No, I've lost a lot of weight.
Lost
Post. During Mumbai Saga, I was healthy.
I think the dieting went overdrive in lockdown. Yeah. Actually, nothing to do, no? I was working out twice a day. I mean, I've not lost half the weight that he's lost. But
Yeah, I've lost a lot, and it becomes like an addiction.
It is. Fasting is very addictive.
Yeah, very.
So during lockdown, how the schedule has been for you guys? Because of course, during the lockdown, people have put on weight. You guys have managed to actually.
Have you put on weight?
You guys have not. You have managed to maintain the weight.
I think people have put on little. People have been indisciplined. But there's also weak minds, no? If you're weak, you'll put on.
Yeah. No, I just didn't know what to do with myself after like a month.
Super fit he's become.
So no, I'm not super fit, not even close to him. But I was like, I didn't know what to do beyond reading and watching films and all. So I started working out twice a day. So yeah, I was just kind of trying to push the bar.
And that helped.
Yeah.
And you have always been fit.
It's always been fit.
No, in the sense, I just enjoy doing a little here and there, so it keeps me going.
You have played, a lot of gangster roles, for that matter. You have.
I played one gangster role, which was
Manya Surve, and
years.
even like cops and gangster for that matter.
Correct.
Both, a mixture of both.
Yeah.
How different has been your experience of playing, two different characters? Where one you are playing a cop, and second you're playing a
You
gangster.
follow a director's brief, Samina. The minute you follow a director's brief, director asks you to do a certain thing, you do it and it works. So you finally listen to what the director says.
And that is how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how was it like playing this character? Because this
Interesting,
gangster is very
because-
famous for that matter.
Yeah.
and
In
his-
fact, if I may speak for Imran also, I think both our characters are derivatives of true life, true people that existed. And I think that made it all the more special because, when you're watching a film, you're sitting like this and you're saying, Mumbai Saga, theek hai. But the minute the first plate says, inspired from true incidents, you're like, oh, okay. And then, you get the sense of there's a lot of credibility attached to what we're doing. So it's a credible film. It's a film inspired by true events. And both our characters were actually true life characters that existed in the city of Bombay, then Mumbai now.
What about you, like playing a cop in the movie?
Oh, I had a
There are
blast.
good cops and bad cops, so how was your experience?
Yeah, I had a blast. I mean, that obviously that dichotomy of people, that's what my family said. What was he good or bad after seeing the film? And I think that's the interesting debate. I mean, he is the kind of hero of his journey. But firstly about playing a cop. It's something that no one had offered me this kind of character before. But Gupta came to me with this, and I found it very refreshing. Just the physicality of donning the uniform on screen for the first time, I thought would be a big change. And just the character is fantastic. He's not your typical righteous, doing everything by the book kind of cop. He's kind of bends the rules a bit, because he understands that at that time, through the 80s and early 90s, there were sections of Mumbai that had almost become lawless because of these gangsters that were emerging from different parts of Mumbai. Like he comes from Dadar. There are different gangsters, different parts of Mumbai, and they were ruling those regions and areas. So the cops were like pretty much trying to get that order situation going. So he has to really push the brink to get that law and order going in Mumbai. So yeah, I found that, he's very, very active, not a passive character at all. So I like those kind of aggressive, very clear thought, vision, those kind of characters. So I had fun with Savarkar.
You're also into book writing process, and you read a lot of books, and you also as you mentioned about watching series. So what kind of book interests you, and what kind of books you personally like to read or write about?
My go-to guilty pleasure books are always Dan Brown books. But I've just kind of read all of them. Generally thrillers. Yeah, I love reading thriller books, horror books. Yeah, I was reading through a lot of stuff, like very different kind of fictional, non-fiction through the lockdown. So yeah, pretty much a mixed bag. Yeah.
Also, don't you think your image has changed over the years?
Has it?
Being a serial killer to now, playing such roles, tough roles, and also don't you think that there is a change in your image completely?
I have no idea. I just do the work that I do. That image thing is a perception from the outside. So I never really do a film or a role thinking that this is how it's going to really affect it from the outside or the image or the perception. I'm just I'm an actor placing myself in different stories. So I don't know what the image is at the moment.
But over the years, it has changed for sure,
I hope so. Just the fact that, I hope that changes. I don't know. Has it changed, or you tell me?
Of course, I feel like there is a change. We don't see
you as... There's no scope for kissing anyways right now with COVID, so it's a bad joke. But yeah, so hopefully it changes or transitions to something else.
John, for you, are you into book reading or watching series?
I read occasionally, not probably as much as someone who likes books reads. Yeah.
And you prefer what do you do in your
I like watching documentaries.
Yeah. And which has been your favorite?
No, just general documentaries.
Yeah.
Like
John, we have also seen that the kind of films you have worked on, be it Madras Cafe for that matter, or the kind of roles you have done, you actually get into quite a depth of the role while choosing a script. Is that how you prefer for even in New York, for that matter, or different roles which you have done? So that is how you prefer to you take your own time and you come on screen. We don't see you as often that you're just signing a movie and you're there on
Yeah, I would prefer to do that. Sometimes you don't have the luxury to do that. But I like Batla House. I gave a lot of time to Batla House, Madras Cafe, exactly like you said. New York was a film that's very close to my heart. So the character came out beautifully. So I think when you love a character and you love the entire painting, then the characters in the painting start looking good. So yeah, I think every actor must, and I'm sure every actor does that, And for Mumbai Saga also we did that.
Imran, you recently spoke about dealing with anxiety issues, and also you actually spoke about insecurities in the industry.
Oh yeah, insecurities, yeah, of course. Anxiety
and also sometimes.
That is take a full bath.
It'll only happen on Friday. It'll only happen on the Friday morning. I generally am very cool at it that way. I was like, God, I have anxiety issues. Yeah, I spoke about insecurities. I don't know. I'm not speaking for all actors, but I think generally it is an industry where there are these unknowns, and insecurities do run high. So that's fine. Every job has its own, hurdles and obstacles, and so you have to deal with that. When actors generally we're insecure because there's so many things that we're kind of vulnerable in a way because we do our job, but there's so many different forces that kind of make us, and put us up there on screen. So anything could go wrong at any point of time. So that's why it's kind of it's a little tricky. That's what I meant.
But you also spoke about, the industry. In industry, we do have fake.
Fake people, yeah, of course. You have fake people everywhere. I'm not really addressing everyone in Bollywood as being fake, but it's just generally the fact that I don't know if you can ever make. It's very difficult to make real friends here because your stock is dependent on Friday. I'm talking about relations with directors and just generally the networking bit. When you're riding high, you could be a king on a Friday and you can become a leper after you have a couple of duds here. So that's how that's the nature of the business. It's not good or bad. It's just the way the industry is.
What about you, John? Do you feel the same way? Working in this industry for so long.
No, I completely agree with him. Everything that he said is absolutely factual.
Have you also personally experienced such things, insecurities and fake friends or fake people, fake company?
There's some fake friends and all that. I just feel that if you're smart enough, you'll finish your work and you'll go back home. If you're smart. If you get consumed by the industry and if you get consumed by the fame, I say you're down shit street. You're jacked. So, and a lot of us probably get consumed. Some of us don't. And for those who don't, great. You're successful. At least in your personal space, you're successful.
And that is where you are right now.
You feel good, no? When you see, he's right about the fact when he says all actors are bound by a common thread called insecurity. If you manage to wrench yourself out of there and you're secure about your space, which is what I try to create with my kind of films when I become a producer, then you're not in any commercial rat race. You're not fighting with people. You're not trying to say, oh, this guy's collected so much, I have to collect so much. Oh my God, that guy signed 4 films. What am I doing? Oh, that guy signed nothing. For me, who are my best directors? Who are my biggest directors? Are the directors who are working with me because they have faith in me? Will I go to a big director and do this? Never. I care a damn.
I think it's also, if you source your prime identity only from the films and from the fame, then that's ever changing. So what is your identity then? Correct. I think you have to be very grounded in who you are. And that's why I have immense respect for John too, because he's kind of segregated that. He doesn't really buy too much into the publicity. He understands that that's John Abraham and then that's his, like you have 9 to 5 jobs, we have 99 jobs. That's our shift. And then you play that and probably at this point, but then you disconnect. You have to pull the plug at some point, and some actors don't pull the plug. The problem is when you're wearing the mask constantly. That's when it kind of screws you up.
You're wearing a mask
you don't really know who you are then. Then you're constantly acting. You're acting in front of people that are close to you. I've seen it happen.
I've seen actors come in front of, what's up, man?
It's never off. There's no off switch, and then you're like that with your family and your friends also. So you lose your sense of identity there.
But also, what do you guys have to say about social media trolls? Because that is somewhere which is quite taxing for the actors at this, current moment during this lockdown. A lot of, actors have been through, social media trolls, and even if they announce a movie or if they release a poster, there are trolls which keep on happening. What are your thoughts on that? And to announce with that, Aamir Khan has just quit social media for the good, to focus on his movie. This just came today.
He's quit Twitter?
He's quit Instagram, yes. Because he wants to focus on this movie.
I was planning to do that like a year ago.
I contemplate from time to time.
Personally, what you guys have to say, because social media, for that matter, for actors right now has become quite taxing.
I have a very strong take on that. I have a very strong take on managers, producers, telling actors, and even actors sometimes being guilty of being drawn into this trending thing, business. So, a producer always says you're trending at number 2, or or a manager says, or a PR person says, you're trending. I think that's a space where an actor has to step back and say, listen, this is not the poison I want to get into. I think it's a very, very dangerous space. Trolls, this is human nature. My respect for humans is as much as they're trolls, So, you are what you see. If you see trolls, then you're in that space. If you don't see trolls, you're not in that space. You're not that. It's like watching a channel. Sensationalism. You're watching the channel and criticizing it, but you are what you see. You're watching the channel because you want to dwell into it. I don't watch any channels. So I think it's nice if actors stay away from that. It's nice if actors can just do their job of acting and go back home.
Yeah. No, I completely agree, and I think social media can be great to do lots of things.
Good work, yeah.
To do good stuff, and I think you should always see the positives from it. You get into that thing of going through comments, and everyone's gonna see. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has an opinion now. After like so many years, and now in the past 10 years since the explosion of social media, so everyone wants to put that out there, and I'm okay with opinions. But with that opinion, there are people who kind of spew hate. Why? Not because there's anything personal with us. I truly believe there's something messed up. I mean, life could have been unkind to them. That's why they kind of constantly venting it out on. I mean, who sits around on? I mean, I've seen people. I mean, people on YouTube videos and they spew like hate on it.
My God.
True.
You have the time to kind of do that. There's something messed up there. Any constructive person who's constructive about his or her own life won't sit on a YouTube channel and start putting out shit about a video. So there's something there that you have to sympathize with, not really kind of try to defend yourself or get angry about. There's something wrong there.
Lastly, what you guys have to say to the people, the audience out there for your movie?
Just one thing. It's releasing on the 19th.
Yeah, 19th of March.
Go watch it in the theaters, guys.
Yeah.
It's an exciting one. We're opening the doors of the theaters after like almost a year.
And we're the first ones with a big film doing it.
Yeah.
So go watch it, be responsible, follow protocol.
Sure.
But please go watch it. It's a cinema experience. It's not available for a subscription fee.
Yeah, it's a big screen experience. It's a theatrical film, and that's where you'll enjoy it the most. Larger than life characters, just the sound, the visuals.
And that kind of heroism doesn't exist as much today.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch those kind of films.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.